Hello everyone, Genki here, and today we're going to see if I can beat Pokemon Scarlet with only Fidough. Fidough is not only a good boy, but a doughboy. It's pure fairy type, and stats wise, it's pretty decent in my opinion. It has a 312 base stat total, which is 2 points more than a first form starter. It gets pretty good base speed and defense, with decent special defense. Our defenses, however, are offset by our low base HP. For our offensive stats, it's looking like we'll be more focused on a physical set, with our 55 base attack and 30 base special attack. By level up, Fidough does not really learn a lot, but there are two moves that stick out to me. Play Rough at only level 18, and Work Up. By TM, I see a lot of stuff that could be useful, like all the Elemental Fangs, Trailblaze, Dig, and maybe even Body Slam. Now, let's go over the rules. I can only use Fidough in battle. No items in battle, only held items outside combat are allowed. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's begin. We start the challenge by catching ourselves a Fidough, which can be thankfully found outside Los Platos. I named her Eclair. She's lonely nature, so more attack, less defense. That might be okay, since defense is our best stat. Her ability is on tempo, so she cannot be confused or intimidated. Since we'll be running a physical set, not being intimidated will help quite a bit. We train Eclair up to level 11 before challenging our first Nemona battle. Nemona leads with Quaxly, who only hit us once before deciding to spam Work Up. It is a 4 KO, and last is Palmy, whose Terra boosted Thunder Shocks are doing less than expected, so it easily goes down in 3 hits. We can now enter the city and begin our journey, but first I decided to do a little grinding. Mastiffs are Dark type, and can help raise a Pokemon's attack stat. Also, I decided to make Eclair the TM for Fire Fang, which thankfully only needed Houndour Fangs. This is so we have something super effective for the Bug Gym, which goes really well. Fairy resists Bug, so we receive little damage from Nibble's Struggle Bug as we take it out in 2 hits. Tarantula is a crit 1-shot, and last is Teddiursa, who is a 3 KO. Time to head east, where we have to battle our first Titan, Cloth. Thanks to grinding on the way there, Eclair is already level 18 and knows Play Rough, which plows through Phase 1 Cloth in only 2 turns. However, Phase 2 is a lot more defensive, so we start with the Tail Whip, which helps Play Rough take Cloth to just above half health. Shelter's Water Gun then takes Cloth to below half, activating its Anger Shell. Cloth, however, decided to only go for block, so it goes down to 1 more Play Rough. Next up is the Grass Gym, and for this battle, I had to get Eclair up to level 22, so it can learn Work Up at level 21. Grassy's leads with Petalil, who likes to start with Sleep Powder, which unfortunately lands, but we had Chistaberry equipped. We take out Petalil with Fire Fang. Against Smoliv, we set up a second Work Up, before also taking it out with Fire Fang, and last is Sudowoodo, who goes down in 2 hits. Time to head back west, where we can face our second Titan, Bombardier. Bombardier is flying and dark, so Play Rough is super effective, and on our 3rd attempt, we get a high roll, which causes Bombardier to be a 1-shot. This was needed because Bombardier outspeeds, and we were pulled into Phase 2 with no time to heal. Against Phase 2, we get taken immediately to red health, and miss our Play Rough. However, our second Play Rough lands and takes Bombardier to a sliver, allowing Monopoly to finish it off. Next is the Team Star Dark base. Against Pawniard, we go for a Work Up, which causes us to get taken to half health with Metal Claw. But Pawniard is a 1-shot Play Rough. Last is the Starmobile, who outspeeds and has Intimidate, but our own tempo blocks the attack drop. Also, because its dark moves are resisted, the Starmobile will prioritize Swift. Thankfully, Eclair had just enough health to survive 2 rounds of Swift and take out the Starmobile with 2 Play Roughs. With this, we can go challenge our next gym, but first is a battle with Nemona. Rockruff was a quick 2 KO with Trailblaze, but then during Palmy, we go for a Work Up, as Palmy paralyzes us with Nuzzle. Palmy is a 1-shot with Dig, and last is Quaxwell. Quaxwell goes first, and does big damage with Water Pulse, as we took it to half health with Thunder Fang. Quaxwell and Eclair apparently had a speed tie, but Eclair could not move because of paralysis, as Quaxwell decided to go for workout. However, we then beat the speed tie a second time, allowing us to finish off Quaxwell. Time for the Electric Gym, and this was our first roadblock. Iono's Wattrel likes to spam Spark, which does a lot of damage, but more importantly, has a 30% chance of paralyzing. And as we try to set up, Wattrel has plenty of chances to get that paralysis. We need a lot of luck, and eventually we get it at level 29. For some reason, Wattrel stopped using Spark and switched to Pluck, which it used twice as we set up 2 workups. And because we were not paralyzed, Iona's team became a one-shot sweep. Next is the Water Gym, and we're already having an issue. Veluza loves getting crits. This means more grinding, but along the way, I decided to stop by Chansey Supply, because sometimes vitamins are the way to go, especially for HP. Eventually, we get this run against Kofu at level 37, and thanks to level up in vitamins, Eclair is sitting at a total of 93 HP. We swap between Baby Doll Eyes and Protect, so to prevent crits and get health back from leftovers. We then switched to Workup, but I still had Eclair switch back and forth for Protect. We set up 2 workups before one-shotting Veluza, and next is Trio, who I did not immediately take out. Instead, I had Eclair set up a 3rd workup, and then we took out Trio. However, since we used the physical move, this activates Trio's Ghoulie, which lowers our speed as Crabominal comes out. We start by going for Baby Doll Eyes, as Crabominal misses his Crab Hammer. This allows us to survive Crabominal's next Crab Hammer with only 9 HP remaining and take it out with Play Rough. Let's go take on the normal gym now. We start the battle by spamming Charm, as Kamala puts us to sleep with Yawn. The attack drops cause Slam to do significantly less damage, so we can sleep through the hits with only a little worry. And then when we wake up, we can use our final Charm, before setting up 4 workups and taking out Kamala with 3 Trailblazes. The Dunsparce is a one-shot, and last is Staraptor, who we outspeed thanks to Trailblaze and take out with a single Play Rough. Immediately following the gym is the battle with Nemona. Nemona leads with Lycanroc, who only knows Accelerock and Bite. And because Bite is resisted, Lycanroc is only using Accelerock, as we use Charm and set up 3 workups. Lycanroc is a 2 KO Trailblaze. Pommel and Gumi are both one-shots with Play Rough, and last is Quackaball, who survives Play Rough on the Sliver, allowing it to take out Eclair with Aqua Step. We could have won with just 1 more workup, but oh well. Let's go back to some stuff we intentionally skipped, starting with our 3rd Titan, Earthworm. We start by going for Charm twice, as Earthworm thankfully never went for Iron Tail. We then go for 2 workups, before taking out Phase 1 Earthworm with 2 Fire Fangs. For Phase 2, we still begin with Charm, but only 1, as well as only 1 workup, before taking out Earthworm with 2 Fire Fangs. Next up is the Team Star Fire Base. Against Torkoal, we go for Charm, but this caused Torkoal to switch from Flame Wheel to spamming Clear Smog. But it wasn't hitting very hard, so we were able to take out Torkoal with 2 digs. Last is Mailer Starbill, who starts with Screech as we use Charm. The Starbill then decides to use Overheat as we go for another Charm. We then set up 2 workups, allowing us to take out the Starbill in 2 digs. In regards to the Team Star Poison base, I am not confident in our ability to beat it, so I decided to do something easier, Great Tusk. We start with the Charm, since Great Tusk still hits like a truck, but is 3k with Play Rough. For Phase 2, we still start with Charm, but then we go for a single workup. Sylveon's Razor Leaf had already taken Great Tusk to slightly above half health, but then Play Rough leaves Great Tusk on a 3rd, so it goes down to 1 more round of Razor Leaf and Play Rough. Let's go face the Ghost Gym. Banette goes first and fails his Sucker Punch, as Mimikyu takes out Magikarp. We then immediately Trash Slice and go for Workup. Trash Slicing causes Eclair to get an Omni Boost. The next turn, Eclair gets hit with Shadow Sneak from Banette, before one-shotting Banette with Play Rough. Mimikyu then gets a crit, taking Eclair to below half health. Poundstone is Rhyme's next Pokemon, but it is a one-shot. Last is Toxtricity, who is also a one-shot. All that remains is Mimikyu, but we were in such low health, I had to clear go for Protect to get some health back. This allowed us to safely take out Mimikyu's disguise, and then Mimikyu itself with only 29 HP remaining. With 6 badges, we now had to face another battle with Nemona. For this battle, we had to go pick up the Clear Amulet, because Lycanroc knows Sand Attack. It also outspeeds, and can do a lot of damage with Rock Slide, so I had to clear go for Charm 3 times, completely minimizing any damage we might take from Lycanroc when it stops going for Sand Attack. We then go for 4 workups, before finally taking out Lycanroc with Trailblaze. Palma and Sliggoo are both one-shots, and last is Quackleroll, who this time is also a one-shot. Time for the Psychic Gem. Tulip's Ferregraph uses a physical set, so we're able to spam Charm on it before setting up Workup. We go for a total of 4 workups, before going for Trailblaze, which only does a little bit of damage thanks to Ferregraph's Reflect. But now the Reflect is over, so we finish off Ferregraph with Play Rough, before proceeding to one-shot sweep the rest of Tulip's team. Maybe now we should go take on the Poison Base. It was not an instant victory. We still had to do some level grinding, and I even had to clear do some hyper training before we finally got this run. We go for Trailblaze against Skuntank, as it hit us with Venoshock. We then go for Workup, as Skuntank tried to use Toxic, but we had a Pecha Berry. Skuntank is a one-shot Play Rough. Against Muk, we go for a risky play instead of 2 workups, as Muk's Sludge Wave leaves us at only 10 HP. Muk and Reverie are then both one-shots, and last is the Starmie, which we also one-shot. That was close. We literally could not get hit one more time. Time for our last gym, the Ice Gym. We start by going for Agility, predicting Frostmoth's Tailwind. Frostmoth then misses its Blizzard twice as we set up Workup. We then miss our Play Rough, as Frostmoth missed its 3rd Blizzard. However, we land Play Rough the next turn, and proceed to one-shot the rest of Grish's team. Let's go take on our last Titan, Dondozo, who after 2 workups is a 2 KO Play Rough. For phase 2, we only go for 1 workup, since Greedent was using Tail Whip, and our first Play Rough does about a third up, and we're floating in midair. Dondozo goes down to 1 with Play Rough. Next is Tatsugiri, who is just a straight 2 KO with 0 workups. Time to go finish off Team Star, starting with the Fairy Base. We go for Charm against Azumarill, who tried to use Charm itself, but we had the Clear Amulet. Get wrecked. We then go for 2 more Charms, before deciding to set up 6 workups and an Agility. Ortega's team is a one-shot sweep, with only 12 HP to spare. All that is left is the Fighting Base. Area leads with Toxicroak, who we immediately get rid of with 2 Play Roughs. Its Poison Jab had left us at half health though. Thankfully, we were holding leftovers. We then spammed Charm on Passimian, whose best move is its resisted close combat. We set up 2 workups and 1 agility, before finally proceeding to sweep the rest of Aries' team. Now, usually I would challenge the Elite Four now, but there is something I would need to do to challenge them that I don't want to do just yet. Let's try Arven first. Against Greedent, we have to go for Charm first, because Greedent's Body Slam is pretty strong. However, there is a problem. Body Slam has a 30% chance of paralyzing. This paralysis causes it to either go down to Greedent or get outsped by Toadscroll. To outspeed Toadscroll with paralysis, we need to set up 2 agilities. We do get this one run where we beat Greedent and Toadscroll, but next is Scavillain, who is a 2 KO with a +2 Play Rough since it resists fairy moves. We go down to Gargantuar. Let's see if we have any luck against Clavel. And I feel this is more possible. The biggest issue is luck against Oranguru. Oranguru has Yawn, Reflect, Foul Play, and Dream Eater. We can't Cripple Berry to rid Declare of Sleep, but Reflect still makes Oranguru at least a 2 KO, giving it a chance to use another Yawn. Also, Foul Play does more damage the higher our attack, so Workup is causing us to take more damage. The second issue is making sure player off always lands, but let's not worry about that. After many reattempts, we eventually got this run. We start by setting up 2 workups, as Orangu tried to use Yawn twice in a row. We of course had a berry equipped to undo the sleep, so Orangu is an easy one-shot. Abomasnow is an easy one-shot with Fire Fang. Against Gyarados, we set up a 3rd workup, as its Aqua Tail does over 100 HP in damage. It's a one-shot with Play Rough, as was Poltergeist. Amogus is a one-shot with Fire Fang, and last is Scarlet, who is a one-shot with Dig. Finally, we can make some progress. Next up is Penny, and for the first time in these challenges, Penny's Umbreon is using Psychic. However, with Penny being Penny, we're still able to set up 3 workups and agility while still being above half health. Her entire team was a one-shot sweep. Time to retry Arven, and do you want to know something funny? I was constantly using Play Rough because I was thinking it was my only option for a strong physical fairy move. Until I remembered Terra Blast. Terra Blast is 100% accurate, and uses the Pokemon's highest offensive stat, which for Eclair's case is her attack stat. This was not an instant game changer, but after some level grinding, it certainly helped. At level 80, we still start the battle out by going for Charm against Greedent, before going for an agility and a workup. However, by its 3rd Body Slam, Greedent finally gets paralysis, activating our Cherry Berry. We go for a 2nd workup, but think Greedent got a crit, taking Eclair straight to 13 HP. So, with no time like the present, I had Eclair go on the offensive, which resulted in a one-shot sweep of Arven's entire team. Now it's time for the Elite Four. Against Whiscash, we go for 2 workups, as Whiscash misses its Muddy Water and hits us with Earth Power. We then Terastallize, and yes, Eclair is now Terra Normal. This is what I was stalling, because this will be crucial for a certain sassy lost child. Body Slam one-shots Whiscash and Camerupt. Donphan survives Body Slam thanks to Sturdy, but it is still 2 KO. Dugtrio only sets up Sandstorm, so it is a one-shot, and last is Clodsire, who is also a one-shot. Next up is Poppy, and we immediately Terastallize and go for Charm, reducing the damage of Copperage's Heavy Slam, which still does quite a bit of damage. So we go for one more Charm. We then switch between Workup and Protect until we had set up 4 workups. Copperage survives Body Slam on a Sliver, so I decided to have Eclair fully set up the rest of her workups before finishing off Copperage. As a result, Corviknight and Bronzong are both one-shots. Magnezone survives thanks to Sturdy, but only sets up Light Screen. So it goes down and lasts is Dinktund, who is a one-shot. Time for Larry. Against Tropius, we set up Agility as Tropius uses Sunny Day. Tropius has Chlorophyll, so the Sunny Day would have boosted its speed, however, we still go first, instead of 2 workups as Tropius hits it with a Solar Beam and Air Slash. Larry's entire team is a one-shot sweep with Body Slam. Last of the Elite Four is Hassel. Norvern, of course, outspeeds Eclair, and we get unlucky as it hits us with 2 Super Fangs, but we were still able to set up a single workup and an agility. Norvern is a one-shot Play Rough. Dragalge is next, and it is also a one-shot, but more importantly, its Poison Point did not activate, allowing us to safely finish off the rest of Hassel's team. Finally, it's time for Geeta, and we immediately have an issue. Geeta leads with the Spothra, a special attacker, and it has the ability Opportunist, preventing Eclair from setting up, since it would get the special attack boost from Workup. It is a 2 KO with a non-Terra boosted Body Slam. The reason for no Terra is because this brings out King Gambit, who is easier for us to set up against than Avalugg. The problem though, is that King Gambit is Steel type, very defensive, and hits hard. We have to Charm it, before we can set up against it. Also, if we were to set up 4 workups, that only takes King Gambit to half health. It goes down the next turn, but we just end up going down to Avalugg. We eventually got this run at level 88. Espathra is still 2 KO, and we still start with Charm against King Gambit, but this time, we take the time to fully set up all 6 workups. This causes King Gambit to be left on only a sliver from Body Slam. It goes down the next turn. Avalugg, Go-Go, and Veluzo are all one-shots. And last is Glamora, who is surprisingly also a one-shot. Time for our final battle with Nemona. We go for 3 protects and 2 charms against Lycanroc, who thankfully never got a crit with Stone Edge. Lycanroc did get a crit with Droron, but only that once, as we set up all 6 workups. Lycanroc is a one-shot. Pawmi is next, and we thankfully outspeed as we one-shot it too. However, out comes Earthworm, who survives Body Slam and Red Health. It then goes for Body Press, which takes the cleric to a quarter health. It goes down the next turn, and with Earthworm out of the way, the rest of Nemona's team was a one-shot sweep. We can now go to Area 0, where we have to battle AI Sada. Sada leads with Slitherwing, who has 3 moves that are resisted by Fairy. But we still need to equip the Clear Amulet to prevent the speed drops from low sweep. We then set up 3 workups and an agility before finally taking out Slitherwing with Body Slam. Screamtail and Boot Bonnet also go down the Body Slam, but then out comes Flutter Mane. Thankfully, I had prepared Crunch, which takes it out in one shot, allowing us to finish off the rest of Sada's team with Body Slam. And at only level 89, we beat Pokemon Scarlet with only Fidough. Thank you to everyone who watched this video, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.